Hi everyone, my name is Ahmed. I'm in 5B. Did you know that approximately 700 million people don't go to school? That's like 10% of the world's population. And did you know that 75 countries are working on the SDG development goals? And today I'm going to talk about coronavirus and the SDG. Coronavirus is a virus. No one knows how coronavirus started, but some scientists believe that coronavirus started because China eats bat, but no one really knows. Coronavirus had affected us by closing events and not letting us live our normal lives, and by quarantine. Now I'm going to talk about what the other government has done to stop the virus. The UAE government has put lockdown at 10 o'clock and they sanitized roads. Then in the Jordan government, they let the army out of everybody's house, and if somebody leaves, they will hit him. We don't think also only the government could do stuff. We could do stuff. We could wash our hands for 20 seconds, and we could stay at home and don't leave our house. SDGs are goals that has been set by United Nations that should happen by 2030. I'm focusing with quality education SDG. The goals of quality education SDG is to have everyone learn the same and to have everyone live in a good habitat. If quality education SDG was achieved, so many people will learn how to read and so many people will learn how to write. And now I'm going to talk about innovations that has been made to stop the virus. They have made online learning and VR and the cloud. This has affected the world by still letting us learn. We could use this stuff after the pandemic is over. Like online learning, we could use it to learn, and cloud, we could send pictures, and VR to understand stuff more. We could help by telling the school to do more stuff to the online learning programs and the online learning in general. Finally, we should help to stop the coronavirus, and we should help to achieve the SDG goals by 2030. And did you know approximately 32 million adults don't go to school? Thank you for listening, and bye.
Hi, my name is Vanna. I'm in 5C. Did you know that 262 million children and teenagers are remaining out of school? That means 55% of the global total are lacking minimum basics in reading and maths. Did you know that in some parts of the world, students are going to school? It's their normal life. But in other parts of the world, students are starving for education. Do you know what it's called? Yes, quality education. One of the 17 SDG goals to achieve by 2030. Today I'm going to be talking about these goals, quality education, the impact coronavirus had to achieve these goals. Coronavirus is a large family of viruses that cause illnesses, from the common cold to more severe diseases. COVID-19 does not care who we are and where we live. It started at the end of 2019 in Wuhan, China, with a population over 11 million. After that, it started spreading over 200 countries. That's when the World Health Organization announced that it has truly become a global pandemic. COVID-19 had and still has a huge impact on us. There have been 4,088,848 cases, including 283,153 deaths. Do you think online learning is hard? Because that's the impact it had on me. The UAE, Middle East, China, Europe, and US governments responded to the coronavirus by closing all public places and airports, employees to work from home or flexible working hours, online school, curfew across the UAE, extreme lockdowns in other countries, and building hospitals in days. We must wear masks and gloves, wash our hands, keep our distance 1 to 2 meters so we can help contain the spread. SDGs are Sustainable Development Goals. They're also known as Global Goals. There are 17 SDGs. I'll be focusing on goal number 4, quality education. The aim of this SDG is to equal access to quality education for all children for free, increase the number of people with relevant skills, more qualified teachers, and higher standards in poor countries, build and upgrade schools so they are safe for children. Every child must have the basics in skills in reading, writing, and maths. After we achieve these goals, people's lives are going to improve. Quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities. Innovations are new ideas to help solve problems by using technology. With the coronavirus pandemic, we have seen many innovations in quality education, such as virtual reality. Students can learn about any subject by interacting with a 3D world and visiting any place. So we can use it when the pandemic is over as a way of doing school trips and a lesson. 2. Cloud tech. Students can access educational resources from home or from any part of the world. So we can use it as a way of doing homework and online learning in rainy days or other pandemic situations. 3. Biometrics. Biometrics are now used as a way of monitoring students' attendance by using fingerprint and tracking how well focusing with an eye tracking technology. All these innovations have helped to increase the number of people with relevant skills, build and upgrade schools to make them safe for children, equal access to quality education for all children for free, more qualified teachers in poor countries. As I said above, the coronavirus has a huge impact on us, and with the coronavirus pandemic, we have seen many innovations on SDGs. In my opinion, we should follow the governmental instructions so we can help reduce the spreading. Thank you for listening. Stay home, stay safe.
Hi, my name is Konstantinos and I'm in 5C. My speech is about coronavirus education and innovations. Many people who become infected, 18% or 1 in 5, do not even have a cough. The disease proceeds without any symptoms at all. A person may not even suspect that he's sick. Coronavirus is a disease like the flu. It is dangerous mainly for older people or for people that have other diseases as well. The coronavirus started from China in December 2019. The spread of the coronavirus to other countries of the world occurred from people traveling with planes from China. The coronavirus has affected almost all countries of the world, and that's the reason it's called a pandemic. Since the start of the coronavirus crisis, the UAE government have taken the below responses actions. All flights have been cancelled, schools have been closed, and classes are performed online. There was a lockdown for all people for a period of more than a month. All malls and places that people used to meet and gather have been closed. Most of the other governments around the world have taken similar actions. Unfortunately, a few countries have taken 0 actions or only few actions. With a result, many people have died. SDGs are the Sustainable Development Goal, which are a set of global goals that meet some of the most pressing challenges facing our world today. I've been focused on SDG 4, improve quality of education and promote lifelong learning. The following are some of the SDG 4 goals. Ensure that all children enroll in and complete free, quality and equitable primary and secondary education. Provide digital education. Ensure quality access to quality and affordable education. The innovation linked to my SDG and used in response to the coronavirus coronavirus pandemic is the online learning and the new way children have access to the internet education. My opinion is that these innovations have a negative effect to the world. The reason is that students remain home without the chance to meet their friends and have a normal social life. I believe normal school will return after the end of the pandemic. My conclusion, the main point of this speech is to mention the quality education during the coronavirus pandemic. Even though the use of digital education through internet classes is a solution, there are many negative results that affect the children's life. Thank you very much for listening and paying attention to my speech.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Muhammad Dave from grade 5C. Today I have a great package to share with you, and mainly I will talk about the Sustainable Development Goal, also known as SDGs, more especially the quality education, where we will see what quality education is and what are the target for it. I am also going to talk about coronavirus as pandemic that has shaken the whole world today. As I go on, have this question in your mind: how could this small virus hit the whole world? Coronavirus disease, which is also known as COVID-19, is an infection and disease caused by coronavirus. It is believed that this virus started from China in December 2019 as a result of people getting in contact with live animals, even eating them, as they got from the market. Later on, this virus was transmitted from one person to other through getting in contact with the infected ones, and since no identified medication for it was not discovered by them, then it quickly affected the whole world. This virus has affected a very sector across the world, that is education sector, business sector, transport sector, and many others. More to that, many people have lost their lives. UAE as a government has responded to coronavirus by putting the following rules: restricted movement, closing public gathering like worshipping places, schools, malls, forcing people to wear masks and gloves in case they are to move, washing hands with soap and water or sanitizer in case soap and water are not available, avoiding close contacts. However, other governments around the world have also practiced the above measure in the control of coronavirus. Airports have also been closed until further notice. In order to help in this pandemic, we should sensitize people about the effect of this virus and teach them what should be done. SDGs are goals or blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable sustainable future for all these SDG goals, also known as the Global Agenda 2030, were set by the United Nations. The United Nations expect these goals to be achieved by 2030. I have been focusing on quality education. The target of this SDG is to ensure that every child acquires reading and writing skills, ensure that all boys and girls complete primary and secondary levels by 2030. When this SDG is achieved, no more poverty cases since skills of how to fight it, better standards of living. The innovation linked to my SDG in response to coronavirus are having distance learning to help in our classes, having live meetings with teachers, using the internet to get more education. These innovations have affected the world in a way that they have made the work for both teachers and parents difficult. I believe these innovations will help after the pandemic is over, because most children will learn different things like computer skills, even taking care of themselves. And these innovations will help achieve my SDG, because teaching has not stopped. In conclusion, therefore, emphasize this once again. Let all of us be responsibility for coronavirus in order to stay safe. As I conclude, once again, allow me to thank everybody for your time and for your time and giving to me. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe. Prevention is better than cure. I remain Mohammed from grade 5C.
Hi, my name is Khalifa and I'm in 5B. Today I'll be talking about coronavirus and SDG goals. My SDG goal is education, so if you want to hear more, stay tuned. Corona is an outbreak disease. It is the strongest virus in the world. You might be wondering how it started. Well, it started in China. People started buying bats. That's not expected. So they did. And they started eating them with sauce and everything, so they got poisoned. So they got poisoned and started coughing at people and touching them. That's how the corona spread. It touches people. People go to another country, spread that country, and go back, forth and forth. Okay, the government of UAE responded by saying, if we want corona to finish, we have to not be scared, and we have to be patient. So not everything, we can't do everything quick in our world. That's definitely not what should we do. We should be together. We should stay patient and see what will happen. Other people, like an example, Australia. I heard in the news that they said some of the Australian places, they said, we don't care about you. Like, they care about them, but they don't know what to do with them. They can't hold it anymore. So they said, die. It's okay. We don't care. So you should be grateful from where you are, because you're treated better than other places. Okay, so let's go to the SDG. SDGs goals are goals that the world want to achieve, like education, as mine. Education. If poor people want to education, they will get money, and maybe if they're hungry and don't have money, they could go to the cafeteria and borrow food and water for their friend when they go back home, and they could learn new things. Like, I have education. I'm grateful for that. So you should be grateful. Okay. So let's say maybe also climate change. We should not use cars so many. We should go maybe bike. We should exercise. That will help us get fit. Not everything we should do by the easy way. We have to challenge ourselves and be good. Here are two innovations used in education. First, virtual reality. It helps you by joining meetings. Well, you will see your teacher right in front of you. That will be like you will be in school, but even easier. And you will know what to expect and understand everything because your teacher is right next to you. And mobile phones. Mobile phones are really helpful. You can call your teacher if you're not understanding something or your friends. Or if you don't understand what your teacher is saying, you can Google it or go to YouTube and learn some new stuff. Google it, go to YouTube, watch videos and understand and help your brain get more knowledge. Last thing, last, thanks for watching and I really appreciate how you listened. I know it's a long video, but I want you to be patient and wait for everything. So another last thing, please wash your hands for 20 seconds a day. Not 20 seconds a day, I mean at least 5. Wash your hands 5 times a day. That will help you. That will help Corona get harder to you because that's Corona's weakness. So thank you for watching. Bye.
Hello, my name is Kendra and I'm from 5C. I'm going to be talking about what the coronavirus is. I'll also be focusing on a positive note, how the coronavirus had a huge improvement on our education system. Zoom, Google Classroom, Google Meet, Submit, Link, Edit, Viva Video Editing. These are words that are now part of our daily online education. We didn't use these words 3 months ago in school. Now that we're in lockdown, students from all across the world are now expected to use technology for education. The first thing I want to talk about is what is coronavirus. It is a family of viruses that range from the common cold to MERS coronavirus. MERS stands for Middle East Respiratory Syndrome. The symptoms when you probably have COVID-19, this is just another word for coronavirus, is cough, fever, tiredness, and difficulty breathing. COVID-19 stands for Coronavirus Disease 2019. If you're wondering, like me, where did this coronavirus start? It started in China, the city of Wuhan, in their seafood market, where wild animals are traded illegally, according to a website called Wired. But we are not sure. Dated Sunday, 10th of May 2020, the total cases worldwide are more than 4 million. People, we have to sanitize so Corona can die. Now I am going to share what the governments did to prevent coronavirus from spreading. The UAE government first closed all the schools, then they sanitized the streets and the shops. They initiated a stage 5 lockdown, which means everyone must work at home and only go out if there's an emergency. They stopped all flights in and out of UAE. Other governments like Italy's and USA's government, in my opinion, waited too long to respond for coronavirus. What can we do? Wear gloves and a mask, practice social distancing, and stay home, and most important, sanitize coronavirus. My fourth point that I want to talk about is SDGs. First, let me explain what SDGs are. SDG stands for Sustainable Development Goals. It's a group of nations that form global goals that aim to improve and protect the planet and end poverty by the year 2030. There are 17 SDGs, but this speech is mainly about SDG 4, which is quality education, targeting to develop a proper environment for schools and standard teaching. They also want to make sure schools move toward digital education, like we are doing now. Smart classes, Google Classroom, e-library, and computer labs. My fifth point is mainly on innovations that became popular during this coronavirus pandemic. Since the lockdown, technology and apps became popular to connect people and keep them together. Apps like Google Classroom, Google Hangouts, and Zoom. The reason why I would like to see these innovations in the future, after the coronavirus pandemic ends, is because these technologies prepare students for the future careers and it develops the students' digital skills and enhances their learning experience. In conclusion, SDG 4 is well on the way according to me. With our unfortunate coronavirus lockdown, quality education got a big boost. All of a sudden, it is necessary to work digitally in order to be educated. This major jump is definitely going to ensure they reach their goal, but first we have to get through this pandemic safe and healthy. So my tip, sanitize, coronavirus. Thanks for listening.
Today I will talk about my speech. My name is Omar, say 5C. I want to talk about the epidemic coronavirus and my SDG goals. Coronavirus are a family of viruses that range from the common goals to coronavirus, which is responder syndrome and circuit response system. It started in Wuhan, China. Many countries have lockdown, shelter in places, or stay at home ordering the containing the pandemic at a local living. However, the widely different responses and responser timeline have left people wondering if 1,000 failing to take their student restarting early on when they could have done more to slow down the speed of the coronavirus. UAE government closed all the public and private places and they put it 9 hours around the world authentic and important lockdown. However, wash your hand every hour and stay safe in your house. And when you will go out, you have to wear mask and gloves. And when you will go home, you have to get a shower. The SDG was to poverty, a set of universal goals that meet the goals, environmental poverty and education challenge facing out world, ending poverty to reduce hunger from poverty, asking to education and healthcare to fight against inequality. The achieving an equality education from all of the beginning that education is one of the most poverty and poverty develop. Digital learning, it is different from school to home learning. I learn more subject. I learn same my lessons from school in live session. I saw my teacher while explaining our lesson with my classmate. Our exhibition target me a lot and I learn more and innovations. I think in future will continue on online learning. These are my knowledge and goals. I want to share it to everyone, but my main idea is about how the world affected by coronavirus. I want to thank everyone for listening to my speech. Bye.
Hello everyone, my name is Gaia and today I'm going to be talking about COVID-19 pandemic, which might be called coronavirus, and I'm pretty sure you heard about it. Today we're going to be talking about it mostly, so let's get started. So first of all, governments around the world are trying to keep us safe by telling us some rules, and these rules are staying at home mostly, and it's pretty hard for some people. Some people think it's super hard, but it's super nice and gathers the whole family together. So I find it out really nice. So governments, as I said, governments around the world are trying to keep us safe. So and there is an emergency. If you want to go out, you just need to wear masks and gloves so it can keep you safe. Have a look at some statistics that shows cases and numbers. This page was last updated yesterday, May 17, 2020. As you can see here, the diagnosed cases has reached 23,358. As you see, the critical case is just 1. Death cases around 220 from different nationalities. let's move on to the recovered cases, which recorded as 8,512. This is very promising. I'm so happy. Last but not least, active cases, which is 14,626. Well, guys, you may have asked yourself, what kind of pandemic is this? Well, it is coronavirus, which happened a long time ago, but it wasn't that strong. So, this virus actually started like 3 months ago, and it made a change through the world. People started not going out, and people started getting sick more. The governments are kindly asking us to stay safe at home. They can go outside, clean the streets, sterilize the streets, provide more COVID-19 tests around the UAE. They can provide more masks and gloves. This virus caused people to create more innovations. For example, in China, they created a robot in the hospital. Rather than the doctor delivering the food with the medicine, the robot can deliver it. So they don't get in contact with the person that caught the virus. What are the SDGs? SDG stands for Sustainable Development Goals. What SDG have you been focusing on? Well, I've been focusing on the quality education. What is my SDG target? It is spreading education through the whole world, especially in poor countries where children didn't already learn when they're supposed to learn in that time. The SDGs faced a lot of difficulties between them because they had so many problems together, which can't be solved quickly and easily. Some of the achievements, like numbers of children out of school around the world, had dropped to almost half. Literacy rates has highly increased around the world. Now I'm going to talk about some innovations. Some innovations you ask about my SDG. Well, of course, online learning. So you can learn online instead of being in class. How have these innovations affected the world? By making them better, and a lot of people students go to school and learn as normal, but now they use these kind of online learning apps. Will these innovations be useful in the future? Yes, because maybe there will be a pandemic in the future. I hope not, but maybe, and it will affect us the same way, and maybe we could use it again, use these inventions and create. Will these innovations help us achieve my SDG, and how? Of course, yes, because I believe the more inventions they create, the better the quality will be. We can deliver faster information through apps. We can improve the way we learn, which leads to increased learning around the world. Well, this leads us to conclusion. We've talked about COVID-19 awareness, so please stay safe at home. Thank you for listening, and don't forget, fight for a better life.